This is a video of my shop. It is a thrift store. It's very disorganized, but I'm trying real hard to keep it organized. As you can see, I'm walking right now. I got these cases full of DVD movies, VCR movies from the 60s on up, wherever the movies were made. This table right here in the center here, just got all kinds of knickknacks and whatnots. I got a wall over here with a bunch of other Christmas, Easter, all kinds of things that people would like to have in their house, just on top of their little tabletops. Just to show, I got some old 8-track right here. See, there's Nat King Cole 8-track. It works. It's a whole set right there. They sold back in the 60s and 70s. And over here, I got an old record player right here, and it missing a needle, but this one over here works. There's a needle on this one right here. It works, and I got it hooked up to an old Pioneer system. This is all Pioneer. Pioneer, Pioneer, Pioneer. Very good stuff. Now, out here I have more knickknacks here. Then I have here, I got a museum that I created on my own. This is called Rubens Museum. It has all kinds of little things that are actually pretty interesting. I got a gun here from 1856. It's a wide earp. I got right there a tobacco knife hanging there that was created back in the day, probably from the 18th century. I got an old knife over there. These are aviator headphones for helicopter use. I got the old skates right there from the 40s. Some of the old cameras. I got an old grinder for meat grinder. I got old salt shaker. I got old batteries that were made by 1952 because they expired in 8 of 55. 3 years probably. Look at all this stuff right here. I got a John F. Kennedy slaying newspaper clip. See? That was from San Bruno or San Mateo. San Francisco Chronicles. There's Jackie Kennedy getting in her car after she's misery after her husband died, the president. That was made by Holt. That boat right there you see in that frame is Holt, the guy who invented the Caterpillar tractor. That's him in it. He made that boat at home. He was a quite creative man. He invented the Caterpillar tractor. And I worked for Caterpillar back in the day myself. Look at all these old cameras from the 30s, 40s, 60s, 70s. Old microphone right here that the DJ here in town used to use. He passed away in 2005. And so his son came in and sold me these microphones, told me to put them in there and display them. There's an old camera right here that's really not what it looks like it is. Everybody must think that it's probably a Instamatic camera, but it's not. It takes film. And there's an old projector, another older projector. This is from the 30s. That one right there is only from the 60s. And look at all these old radios. That's a Zenith, a Philco, and a General Electric. They all work. I fixed them myself. Here's a Bible from 1886. You can see right there, 1886. Not for sale. None of this stuff is for sale. Just for show. This is a kind of stove that they used back in the 18th century. That's all they had. They had 2 or 3 of those in their houses. They didn't have a stove like you know today. These balls right here got chimes in them. They are what they call harmony balls from China. That's the name of them. And they are designed to keep you some kind of therapeutic when you come home stressed out from the day. They have chimes in them as you turn them. They sound neat. Here's an old Corona. As you can see, it's a typewriter from 1909. That right there is a lantern from 1892. Just a red one. They used to use that one for the railroad in the back. As you can they still use the red light to let the conductor know what's going on. And this is from 1883. That's the kind of thing they used to use only to wash their faces and stuff in the hotel rooms. They didn't have running water back in those days. And so this is what I consist of here, my little museum of a lot of little items, microphones more there. This is the old kind of microphone that's right here. That's like Elvis Presley used to use. An old wooden doll figure back there, another radio Admiral. And there's other little whatnots in here. And I will show you that microphone there is a kind that was used back in the day exclusively. I got people always hitting me up, asking me to sell it to them, but I will not do that. This is an old iron. It says hot point on it. I bet you it's probably from 1950s, early 50s. And that other one there's probably a youngster in the 60s. Probably both 50 years or more each. But some of them are way newer than us, but still very old to us. Look at that record player right there. That was from 1958. And it was the kind of school teacher used to carry as a portable. It's electric. And it did 33, 78, and 45s. So it could take care of all records back in those days. The 78s are not even seen these days. There you have it, the museum. An old air, what do you call it, bellows to start the fire. And as you can see, I don't know what the value of this museum is, but it could be somewhere in the range of, I believe it to be at least $6,000 or more of some of the stuff that's irreplaceable, that was designed back in those days and used, and now it's out of date. A lot of these cameras don't have no film made for them any longer. All they are for is novelty. People just let their kids know that that's what they were like back in the day, and all this stuff. There's a clock there that's made in that clock was from 1912. And these sponges right here, you see the sponge right here, it's a real sponge. That used to be alive. That was in the ocean, like SpongeBob. And that down there, I got that one down there. It's called Patrick. I got a design still like a star. I'll do it one day. All right, over and out.